Door, wheel to wheel into turns 3 and 4. Ladies and gentlemen, the DuPont 40 off turn number 4. We are underway. Down into turn number 1, Jimmy Mars going to lead the way, and off the top of the cushion, pulls it back on Alan Weisner. He'll lose the second spot to the number 83 machine of Scott James as they go into turn number 3. Spatola working inside, trying to make something happen on the bottom of the racetrack. Leader of lap number 1 is going to be Jimmy Mars. Back down into turns 1 and 2. Mars sets the pace. Scott James working bottom side of the racetrack in that number 83 machine. Here comes Spatola. He's going to go top of the racetrack in that number 89 machine. Try and make something happen around the outside of the racetrack. Nothing doing that time. They'll stay single file through the top 3 cars. Closest battle on Speedway right now. Battle is for the 4th spot. Move the squirrel. Brian Shirley to the inside of Weisner. He'll get it done that time. Weiser now up to the outside of the racetrack, trying to find some momentum. Shirley on the bottom side. He'll move into the 4th spot. Weiser now back to 5th. And here comes the smooth operator, Bobby Pierce, around the outside of the racetrack. He's to the outside of Weiser now through turns 3 and 4. Bobby Pierce on the cushion of the racetrack. And he's going to pull alongside of Brian Shirley this time as they go into turns 1 and 2, side by side. Now for the second spot just ahead of them, it's Mike Spatola. Scott James going at it. James gets checked up on the cushion. He'll lose a little momentum. Spatola right around the tractor tires, but James is going to use the momentum on the outside of the racetrack to hold down the second spot. Jimmy Mars still your leader, half a straightaway down the back stretch. Now they're 2 by 2 for the second spot. Spatola trying to charge to the inside of James. James going to take that line away through turns 3 and 4. He'll solidify himself to the second spot. No, he won't. Bobby Pierce, big run off turn number 4, and he'll take the second spot into turn 1. Pierce around the outside of the racetrack. Now he'll drag race with James into turn number 3. Off turn number 4, Bobby Pierce outside of the racetrack, outside, looking into that lead position. Off turn number 2 and down the backstretch, Jimmy Mars is your leader. Here comes Bobby Pierce working outside. We're going to have a battle at the front, this time into turns 1 and 2. Pierce, top of the racetrack. Mars right around the tractor tires. Pierce able to put that power to the ground in the number 32 machine. He'll pull alongside this time into turns 3 and 4 as the drivers get to the back markers. First car going to go 1 lap down will be Dave Baker, and that time as they cross the stripe, new leader Bobby Pierce. Pierce moves his red number 32 machine to the point. Jimmy Mars now falls back to second. Scott James holds down the 3rd spot. Brian Shirley 4th. Mike Spatola slides back to 5th. It's Billy Moyer riding in the 6th spot. He's got company with Jason Fager in 7th. Weiser in 8th. Shannon Babb 9th. And Frank Heckenash Jr. rounds out your top 10. Bobby Pierce on a roll now at the front of the field as he opens up a straightaway advantage over Jimmy Mars in the 28 machine. As they work through lap traffic, Brent Miller now 1 lap down. Leaders mostly using the outside of the racetrack, lap traffic mostly on the bottom. As Pierce now going to come up to 2-time champion Donor Marcoulier. Marcoulier will move to the bottom. Pierce going to roll the outside, put him 1 lap down. Nice battle heating up within the top 5 as Mike Spatola goes to the outside of Scott James. He'll take that spot away and move into 4th. James now back to 5th. They're 3 wide for that 5th spot coming off turn number 2 and into turn 3. Shannon Babb looking to the bottom of the racetrack. Jason Fager thinking about splitting them 3 wide off turn number 4. That's a battle for the 5th spot. James has it this time as they go into 1. Now they're 2 by 2 for the 6th spot. Babb working inside of Jason Fager. Babb down to the tractor tires. Fager uses the middle. Scott James up to the outside wall in turns 3 and 4. Fager going to follow him. Shannon Babb right in those tire tracks as well. They'll go single file this time down the main straightaway. Move Billy Moyer into that race as well. Side by side now once again for the 5th spot. Jason Fager bottom of the racetrack. Scott James going to go up to the outside wall. Fager tractor tires. James brushes the concrete that time off turn 4. Now Shannon Babb up to the outside of the racetrack. The high side hustler Jason Fager are on the tractor tires at the bottom of the racetrack with James on the outside. Fager on the bottom. Shannon Babb follows his footsteps and tire tracks off of turn number 4. Jason Fager 5th spot that time as they cross the stripe. Meanwhile, Brian Shirley moves into the 2nd spot as they race through lap traffic. Mars falling back to 3rd, and Brian Shirley moves into the 2nd spot as Bobby Pierce continues to put cars 1 lap down. Mars going to still try and come back to the inside of Brian Shirley as they go into turn number 3. Shirley riding the outside cushion, going to come up to lap traffic. Donor Marcoulier works by him flawlessly. Mars still on the bottom of the racetrack where he will find more lap traffic. Bottom of the racetrack, working for some, not working great for others. Shannon Babb still up on the outside of the racetrack in turns 3 and 4, trying to make some headway. Well, we're going to have a little bit of contact with the lap traffic. That's going to back up Brian Shirley in that second spot. He's got a decent gap back to Mars, so nothing to worry about there. But now Mars going to start feeling the pressure from two guys who are running side by side right now. Mike Spatola, Jason Fager Jr. going at it into turns 1 and 2. Throw the lap car of Travis Stemler into the mix in the Blue Deuce. It's Bobby Pierce in the 32 machine who leads, and caution flag will wave as Bob Gardner slows on the main straightaway, brings out the caution, and then makes the hard left-hand turn down into the hot pits. Now, it'll be interesting to see what the call will be. And 4, they're in the middle of 3 and 4. They'll turn down. Off turn 4, this one will stand. American Ethanol green flags in the air. Down into 1 and 2. Mars taking that second spot away from Shirley. Going to try and take the top spot away from Pierce as they go into turn 3. Mars bottom of the racetrack. Pierce trying to roll the outside, and he'll get the momentum train on track. Mars, though, going to slide up in front of Shirley, take that second spot away. Shirley now back to third. They're 2x2 for the 4th spot. Fager on the bottom. Spatola working top shelf as they go into turn number 3. Spatola, nice run. Going to take that 4th spot away. Fager, nice and patient around the tractor tires. Not enough, though, to get back by Spatola. Track starting to slicken off. Middle of the racetrack, not where you want to be anymore. It's either top or bottom. Bobby Pierce marching along. Jimmy Mars, 2nd spot. Brian Shirley, 3rd. Banging the cushion in turns 1 and 2. He's got Mike Spatola right behind him. Jason Fager still trying to work bottom side of the racetrack to get around Spatola. That's a battle for the 4th spot. Fager committed to the tractor tires. Billy Moyer right down there with him, bringing Frank Heckenast Jr. Shannon Babb looking to the inside of Heckenast. That's a battle for the 7th spot.
Bobby Pierce pulling away, about to lap another car.
Bobby Pierce continues to set the pace in that 32 machine. Battle heating up for the 2nd spot. Mars on the outside. Brian Shirley trying to find something on the bottom. Couldn't get that car to come off that second corner. He'll now go back to the top shelf where Mars is riding as well. Things not working on the bottom for Jason Fager Jr. He just lost a spot to Billy Moyer coming off turn 4. Now he's going to have to deal with Shannon Babb and Frank Heckenast. Pierce with a full straightaway advantage over Mars, who did a nice job on that restart to drive back into 2nd. Brian Shirley not done, though. Still peeking to the inside, showing that nose once every lap. Hoping that Mars will make a mistake. Battle heating up as they get to the lap traffic. 2nd spot, they'll put Dave Baker in their rear view mirror. Mars trying to hold on to the 2nd spot. Well, Scott James, problems for the 83 machine of Scott James. He'll make the hard left-hand turn down to the hot pits. A tough break for Scott James in the 83. Bobby Pierce working into turns 1 and 2. Into turns 3 and 4, and off turn 4. It'll be 5 fingers to the air and 5 laps to go for Bobby Pierce in the 32 machine as he slices and dices lapped traffic. Mars on the outside of the racetrack. Shirley with a big run through turns 1 and 2. Can't quite clear the slide job. He knows that. He'll back it down the back straightaway. Back into 3 and 4. Mars and Shirley, closest battle on Speedway in the top 5. They're about 3 car lengths off of one another. Shirley back down to the bottom in turns 1 and 2. Mars rolling momentum around the outside. Spatola half a straightaway back behind them. Shirley able to keep a nose pinned to that left rear quarter panel. And back down to the inside where he will meet lap traffic through turns 1 and 2. He'll let that car brush up in line behind the 28 of Mars. Meanwhile, off turn number 4. 2 sticks to the air, 2 to go for Bobby Pierce. Pierce down the back straightaway and into turns 3 and 4, working overlap traffic, but he's got over a straightaway advantage over Jimmy Mars as he comes off turn number 4. White flag in the air, one more time around through turns 1 and 2 and down the back straightaway. Into turns 3 and 4 for the final time, and off turn 4, checkered flag in the air, Bobby Pierce, your winner.
Do have a car turned in turn 4, but they will.
Mars, Shirley, Spatola, correction, Moyer, Spatola, your top 5. Scales, and he'll make the hard right-hand turn out of Oakwood, Illinois, in the Hoker Trucking MVT Premier Wastes, number 32, as he comes down to the front straightaway. Let him hear you. Ladies and gentlemen, feature winner, Bobby Pierce.
Bobby Pierce is your winner as they get ready down there for the interview in the winner's circle.
Bobby Pierce going to yellowhose.com victory lane. Jimmy Mars, second spot, Brian Shirley, third.
And they're working on Bobby Pierce climbing out of the car. We'll get that interview here momentarily.
Getting things situated down in yellowhose.com victory lane. Safety equipment coming off. Media correspondent Rich France is in victory lane.
Bobby Pierce. Toronto Buzz. Feature leader Bobby Pierce. Bobby, come down here. We'll talk just a minute. We talked a little bit. We talked after your fast qualifier award, and you said, "Well, I don't know if we can pass on this track tonight." Boy, in this feature event, you did it in a hurry.
Yeah, I guess I should have known better. This black dirt, it slicks off. When it starts, it gets slick pretty quick, and I was pretty nervous there early on. When I set fast time and had that invert, I thought it kind of, our night would have been a wash after that. But getting ready for that modified feature, I noticed the track was looking really good. They packed down the cushion, and the track was just perfect. I mean, it was a little top dominant 3 and 4, but, I love to run the cushion, obviously. And, this Pierce car is working good tonight. We're saving the other car for next weekend for the World 100. Didn't want to tear it up, but we put the strap from the we put it on this weekend, and it looks really nice. Just got to give a huge thanks to all these fans coming out tonight. American Ethanol Series putting the show on, and Farmer City Raceway is my local track. Here, and 45 minutes down the road, it's my closest track. So I think All Guy Incorporated, Hoker Trucking, Premier Wastes, Digital Copy Systems, Mesquite Valley Transportation, Viper Motorsports. They're my new sponsors, so I got to thank them. I got to thank Burgers Marina, Burt by Buddha Transmissions, Carnegie Towing, First Spear, Ted Brown.
After you got out front was the patience you showed going through traffic.
Anyways, yeah, it was pretty tough. I needed to.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, nice round of applause for the DuPont 40 winner, the smooth operator, Bobby.
With that, we'll take a quick break here before we get the Pro Late Models or the crates out on the track. You're listening to Farmer City Racing on 98.3 WEXG, rocking the Heartland.